Good morning. You're not looking behind me, are you? You're not seeing that, right? We're just gonna ignore the mess behind me. Today's a cleaning day. I have so much stuff to clean. Today is just a whole house reset. So let's get started. Here is a before of the kitchen. Ah yes, let's get started. The counter is a lot more messy than usual. Usually I do not have the entire counter covered with things, but this day was a lot different than a normal day. So this is the day after my birthday, and so all of my birthday presents were strewn across the counter, plus I had all of the dishes from the day before. So the day before I made a bunch of hand pies. I believe this is the day after hand pies, but when I did that, I did not do any dishes. It was definitely the hand pies day. So I decided that I just wanted to do my thing and cook in the kitchen, and I didn't want to do the dishes. I figured I will do them tomorrow. It's my birthday. I don't want to do dishes today. So that's what I did. And I just left all of the dishes in the counter, went to bed with it like that, and said I will deal with it tomorrow. And looking at it, it looked like there was a ton of stuff to do, but this only took about 20-25 minutes total, so it wasn't bad at all. I did do a little teeny tiny bit of cleaning, like picking up as I went, and I did clean off the griddle the day before because that would have been a nightmare to try to clean that if I let it cool down. But my first step of what I was doing here was like, let's just get everything off the counters and put away that I can, so that way I can at least start. And I'm definitely starting in a different order than I normally do. And I'm using a washcloth to clean off the counters with the spray. I change how I clean like every single time, and you'll see throughout the video that I clean quite a few things differently. So that I'm holding right there, I'm super excited about that. That was a gift that I asked for and I got, which was great. I asked for a meat slicer that could specifically slice bread, because when I slice my bread with my serrated knife, I often slice my thumb as well, and I'm kind of over that. So I was like, I really would like one that you can slice bread or meat with. And so my husband did all the research to figure out which one should work great for bread, and I haven't tried it out yet. So once I try it out, I will let you know how it goes, but I'm super excited for it. The other things that he got me for my birthday was he got me some slicing gloves, cutting gloves. How do you call those? I think you call them cutting gloves. They're basically so you could put it on your hand while you're cutting, like you put it on your opposite hand, your holding hand. That way you don't get cut. And at first I was like, well, why would I need these if I have the machine? But I realized real quickly that the best use of those, at least for myself, is when I'm cutting melon. Because the way I cut a melon, which typically is a cantaloupe because that's my favorite, is I cut it into little wedges and then I like cut across underneath the skin. Is that how you would say that? But the knife ends up going like horizontally and it goes towards my hand, and I'm always afraid I'm going to be cutting my hand with it. So that was just perfect. And so that was the first time I used them. He said they can be washed. I haven't tried washing them yet, but he did get me 6 pairs. And so the one pair, or not even pair, but the one that I tried, I mean, I didn't actually like try to cut my hand, of course not, but I didn't even get close to cutting myself, but it did give me a lot more confidence cutting the cantaloupe that I wasn't going to hurt myself. So it was fantastic. And then the last thing he got me were 3 kneeling pads for the garden. I already had one, he didn't know, but such a thoughtful gift. Now I have 4, which is great because, as you put those foam pads out in the yard, they will definitely, disintegrate over time or get, I don't know, they won't last forever. So I am now filling up the dishwasher, which didn't take me nearly as long as I thought it would. Sometimes the dishes in the sink are so hard because we don't necessarily rinse them off well, but as I was cooking, I made sure to at least get things soaking and rinsing off so that putting them in the dishwasher would be super easy. And I did put the mixer bowl in the dishwasher, and so I have the Zacme mixer. I've talked about it a million times. You can see it over in the corner of the counter. And you guys, I love this thing. I filmed a video. If you haven't seen it, go check it out, where I did my first reactions to it. And it was not sponsored or anything. This is just, I was looking for a new mixer because my KitchenAid, what's supposed to be a good KitchenAid, the professional 5-quart bowl lift, just wasn't working very well. I have heard that I need to add oil into the top, but I don't even know how to begin with that. And I really didn't want to pay to have somebody else do it. I still have the KitchenAid, so if I need to use it, like, I have it. But this mixer, oh my gosh, I made all of those breads the day before. And, it has the timer countdown. So it's like need for 7 minutes. I'm like, all right. So I put the timer on for 7 minutes and it was done. It just stopped, which is fantastic. The KitchenAid would never. It also has the light. I'm still just super ecstatic about it. And it has a fan inside of it. So once it's working really hard on a dough, it just, turns the fan on and keeps it cool. Whereas my KitchenAid would just turn the whole thing off and I'd have to finish by hand. So I can't say enough good things about that mixer. And the bowl is dishwasher safe. So is the paddle attachment, all of the attachments. That's why I started talking about it anyways, because it was in the dishwasher. So this was, I could talk about that thing forever. Basically, I love it. It's my favorite. So I am on to the counters again, and I'm almost done with them, which is fantastic. And of course, as soon as I get done with them, there's going to be cats all over them. That is one thing I cannot train the cats to do, is be off of the counter. I don't know why, but it's just not their favorite thing to be down. They want to be up as high as they can. And I figured it's fine. If I'm going to be cooking directly on my counter, like making a dough directly on the counter, I'll just clean it beforehand and then keep them away while I'm cooking. So we are almost done with the kitchen portion, which I'm super excited about. And on this day, I actually decided to dry dishes too, because it was like, let's just get them all off the counter and have it be completely done. Did you see that towel? You see that towel that's on my stove? That towel has the little kitty cats on it. I got it at Ross, and I actually filmed a video of while I was shopping at Ross. So if you haven't seen that, definitely check it out. But I love it. It matches my kitchen and it's kitty cats, which are my favorite. Now, one thing about kitty cats is I've apparently developed an allergy to them, which is so sad. I've had cats for as long as I've had Lola. She has just turned 10, and I did not have an allergy back then because I was tested around that time. I was tested, probably 13 years ago, but there was no allergy to cats. And I have one now, and I'm like, what the heck? I love my cats. I love cats in general. And it was so sad because I'm like sniffling sometimes, and it's sad. So hopefully I can grow out of it. Can you do that? Can you grow out of an allergy? That is my hope. 25 minutes later, here is the after. So we shall see. And on this day, I am not doing a deep clean on it. So we are onto this drawer. This drawer has become a mess. And the reason it gets like this is because sometimes I want to put those measuring cups away when they're still kind of wet. And I definitely don't want to stack them when they're wet because I don't want it to stay wet. And so I just started throwing them wherever they would fit. And then that divider, I love dividers in the drawers. They work really well. But in this drawer, for some reason, it just doesn't really stay. And so I have to just redo it occasionally, which is no big deal. It took me like a minute. And then now I'm cleaning out the cat food, and Milo is like, wait, are you giving me more food? Yes, you're giving me more food. Okay, I will eat. He is so cute. He is in like every video. He's like, I need to be right where you are at all times. And did you see he has a new bow tie? It's got avocados on it, and it is green, which matches his eyes perfectly. Lola, who's right there, she got a new collar as well for summer, and hers has a bow, and it's got like summer fruits and such. It's white with colorful summer fruits, so super cute. Now, all of this mess is basically Milo's. He's the one who is a messy eater. It's just crazy. He like flings his food as he's eating it, which is so strange, but that's how he eats, and so I just have to clean it up pretty often. And so I cleaned off their mat, and then now we're doing a little bit of a reset. And I realized at this point, well, shoot, I should have kept, oh gosh, I have another thing to say. It was at this point when I noticed one of the cats is sick and has a tummy problem. So I'll say that in a minute, but let me go back to what I was saying about the dishwasher. So I realized I should have put those cat dishes in the dishwasher before I pushed start on it. So I had to leave them in my sink, which kind of was like, but I did get to them later, so no worries there. So as I was pulling the litter boxes out, and like scooping them out, I realized one of the cats has a sick tummy, which is super sad. So I was a little bit worried as I was here cleaning just like the litter that had been flung out of the litter box areas. And so then I was on a mission to figure out which cat had the bad tummy. Was it Milo, the gray one, or Lola, the orange one? And over the next few hours, I did notice that it was Lola, and she was going in and out of the bathroom, and I was so sad. So I did call the vet, and they said to bring in a stool sample. Not this is TMI, but everything was fine there. So now we have an appointment today at 1, and so I will see what is going on with her. I hope she's okay and that all she needs is just a little bit of time, or that they have a medicine that could help her. That would be great, because she's been getting her tail all messy, and it's kind of been a pain to clean it, and I know she's annoyed at it, and the other cat is like, what's going on? Things are different. And so I'm hoping she feels better soon. I am pretty sure that she asked to go to the vet yesterday. So I made the appointment yesterday. The earliest they could get her in, aside from like if it was an emergency, was today at 1. And so last night, we were sitting on the couch watching shows in the evening like we always do, and she went over to my husband's computer bag and like was touching it and like not really scratching it, but just making known that she was on that. And then he leaned it up against the wall instead of being flat down, and she went and sat on the strap and like kept touching the strap and looking at us. And I'm like, I wonder if she is trying to tell us that she wants to go to the vet, because that bag always goes with you when you leave the house. So if she's telling us she wants this bag, maybe she's telling us that she wants to leave the house, and the only time she ever does that is to go to the vet. It might be a stretch, but that's what I'm thinking was happening. So I'm wondering what they're gonna find out or what they're gonna tell us. So hopefully it's like a no big deal thing. It's just a stomach bug. But this could potentially have been going on for a while now, because I painted my stairway towards the basement, and that day I locked the cats in the like office area because I didn't want them getting in the paint. And when I came back, there were 2 piles that were not fantastic, and I was like, oh no, maybe someone's tummy hurts. And then it's been hard. I've been like kind of keeping my eye on it for the last little bit, but like with the litter box, it's really hard to tell. But on this day, it was like super obvious that someone had a tummy ache. So super sad, but we will get her in and we'll get her taken care of. And so what I'm doing here is I am using a wet wipe to clean off the, what do I call that? That's like a moisture barrier. So these are IKEA Brimes cabinets, and I added a like drawer liner type of thing to the bottom of them, a waterproof one. And then I also added a piece of quarter round to the edge, so that way litter theoretically wouldn't just be kicked completely out. And I just clean that off, and then every couple years I redo the inside, just that layer of, I don't know, the sticky part that you put down. And it's worked out really well, actually. It looks cute, and nobody can tell. I mean, unless you obviously look at the mats, or if you smell it. It usually isn't terribly smelly. I do clean it quite often, and then I also reset it, like what I'm doing today, quite often. I typically clean it every other day, just like, scooping it. But then once a month, I will do a big reset like this, where I completely switch out the litter boxes, and then I clean the litter boxes. So this is how I clean them after. We have this utility sink in our laundry room, and I'm super excited about this sink. I mean, I've had it for years at this point, but after we moved in, well, wait, let's step back a second. When we moved in, well, even before that, we had the option of getting it plumbed, this area. And I'm like, yes, we definitely need to have it plumbed, because I would like to have a sink here. And also, what else would I put there? Because you'd think storage. Yep, storage would be great. But I have a huge pantry style storage in this room that I use for toilet paper and all of the different cleaning supplies. So I didn't need more storage. So I was like, I definitely want to get a sink. And then I was thinking, a double sink could be helpful, because then I'll have 2 sides, and I can have a drying side and a washing side. And I found this, and it fits perfectly, and I am still excited about it. It's super helpful. I can also give the cats a bath in here, which I don't do very often, but I did yesterday. So yeah, I love this sink. I don't love cleaning litter boxes out. And this is the first time. Okay, so I clean the litter boxes, as long as I've had cats. And this is the first time that I got a runny nose from doing it. And I'm like, shoot, I bet that is the allergy talking. And so, yeah, I don't know. And I'm realizing now I took my hair tie off, which funny thing, it's habit to put a hair tie on my arm. And today I had my hair, not today, but this day I had my hair up, and I definitely did not stutter. I definitely did not need another hair tie, but it got wet. And is that not like, that's the second worst thing to having, like, wet socks is number one and wet hair tie on your wrist is number two for me. And so I put it up there and I'm realizing it's still there. So maybe at some point I'll remember and go grab that, or if not, it'll just be there for next time. So litter boxes are cleaned. That's fantastic. We are still moving strong. This day was just one of those days where I'm like, you just have to reset the house. I'm also on vacation at this point, which is great. I took the entire week off for my birthday because I really just don't want to work on my birthday. And working like this around my house is something that I really find, fun to, not necessarily fun, but like it's fun after it's done to see how clean things are. And so that's what I chose to do. And then I am on to vacuuming because part of learning that I am allergic to my cats is that I need to be vacuuming a lot more than what I used to, which is interesting because for years it didn't really make a difference how often I vacuumed, aside from like I didn't want to see it be completely messy. And so that was weird. Something just made a noise. I'm not sure what that was. Okay, we're a little spooked. But what was I talking about? Vacuuming, I think. And so, you'll also notice I got a new headboard and I rearranged how the room goes because I didn't think that headboard would really make much sense in front of the window. But I'm vacuuming more often because I'm allergic to the cat, so I'm trying to keep the cat fur, vacuumed up as much as I can. And then I did get a new headboard, which is the one that matches my bedroom set. And I got that because the one that I had was fabric. And the cats would always sit on top of it and look out the window. And I'm like, this is not good. So I needed to get the other one so I didn't have the fabric cat fur right by my head the whole time I was sleeping. I also have air purifiers, which might have been the sound that I just heard. It might have just done something weird. But I don't know if the air purifiers are actually doing anything. And there I'm just chatting with my husband. He is telling me it's funny that I look like I'm going to be out gardening, but I am actually cleaning. And I'm like, well, I am going to be gardening in just a little bit. So that video will be coming up soon. I did plant in the garden for the first time, which is really fantastic. And so I have realized that this video is going to be so long if I do it in one. So I'm going to split this video into 2 parts. So stay tuned for part 2, and I will continue on with this massive whole house reset cleaning day.